Let's rank every major album released this month from worst to best. Starting at the very bottom with one of the worst albums I've heard this decade, not just this year. It is a nightmarish blend of country and hip hop in really bad songwriting. Speaking of bad songwriting, this Alex Warren album made me feel like I was ushered into a college dorm room and forced to listen to original songs. And listen, while I'm not the biggest Stomp and Holler fan out there, at least the musicians that he's trying to replicate that made that style of music had some level of musicianship. There's nothing to be found like that here. Every once in a while I get reminded that Joyner Lucas exists, and then I forget again, and then the cycle continues. On this Kesha album, she returns to mainstream pop music, but not the sound that she was originally known for. Instead, she went a way safer, more retail direction, and I don't really understand why. There's a few fun songs on this Jack Boys project, but there's also some laughably bad hooks. This whole album cycle was a little strange from Fletcher because she recently came out as not lesbian, but regardless of how that might play into this album, this thing is boring as hell. Like most Thjs albums, it's hit or miss. There's some good stuff, there's some bad stuff. Even if I completely ignored the terrible Drewski interlude, Swag is not a great album, and it also is kind of saying nothing. It's just him ripping off Thjs and McGee's sound, having them on the album for a couple songs, and that's it. This is a solid R&B album. I've always liked Givion's voice, but this record does feel a little samey. There's some great drops on this Violet Pony album, and it's also hilarious. This is a Larry June album. It sounds like a Larry June album, and it's a pretty good one. Some of the beats on here do sound a little dated, but it's Raekwon. Of course, he chose to go with these beats. Loner is just a really lush sounding house record. There's some really fun tracks on here, and some really beautiful ones too. I don't always love the drumless hip hop thing, but I can't deny how smooth this project is. This Tyler record is pretty much just a producer showcase. He's flexing his production skills on this record. I think the songwriting could have been a little bit better, but they're just fun, dancey songs that he clearly had fun making. I was a huge fan of this Alex G project. I think it's my favorite of his over the past couple years. The instrumentals on here are stellar. I don't really understand why Wet Leg is so divisive to begin with, but like I said on my story, even if you didn't like Wet Leg before, I would still check this album out because it's really well done. When I say an album has identity, I mean that the music tells me who you are, and this album made me instantly understand who Jane Legacy is as an artist. It's such a cool blend of Afrobeats, alt R&B, and hip-hop. I'm convinced The Alchemist just saves all of his best beats for Freddie Gibbs because he cooked so hard on this album, and Freddie's flows are obviously insane as usual. I know a lot of music nerds who think that this Quedeca album is the best thing that they've ever heard, and I'm not sure if I'm quite that high on it, but it's fascinating, it's gorgeous, and so technically impressive. The fact that he produced and mastered and mixed this thing all by himself is insane. But the best album I heard this month was this new Clips record. Every single time I listened to this record, I found a new bar that absolutely blew me away. Also, the chemistry that Pharrell had with Pusha T and Malice on here is unlike anything I've heard in recent memory in the hip